Good morning. Today we will be completing lesson 10-2, starting on page 425, and it is cash and trade discounts. So I have found that over the years, this lesson either tricks you or clicks with you immediately. So just a forewarning, I am one of those people that kind of gets tricked by this lesson as far as counting number of days. So if you struggle with this as well, I'm going to provide a calendar, a 2020 calendar for you, so that this lesson is a little bit easier. So I've included it in the sub notes. If Ms. Hunter will pass those out, or maybe she already has, that might help you a little bit if you just need to do it the good old-fashioned way and count on the calendar to make sure that you are most accurate. Because seeing a calendar in your head, especially because some months have 31 days and some have 30 days, is a little bit tricky for some people, including myself. So go ahead and feel free to use that if it makes it any easier for you. So you'll see what I mean here in a little bit. So first we're going to look at cash discounts, and that mostly starts on page 426. So when you buy something on credit, which is something we had looked at in the last lesson, you have a certain amount of time to pay for that invoice. Most of the time you have 30 or 60 days to pay that invoice. But if you pay early, sometimes a vendor will give you a discount. And the reason that they give discounts is so that you pay earlier. It gives a little bit of incentive to go ahead and pay early. So there's a couple of different ways to calculate the trade or cash discount, but the most common way is what we're going to look at first. So cash discounts are stated in kind of a funky way, and the most important part is to understand how to read the discounts. So let's interpret kind of what they're saying. If you look at halfway down page 426, it says, for example, the terms of Farwell Paints invoice is 210, 130, and 60. Okay, so let's interpret that. 210, 130, and 60. So what that's saying in layman terms is it's saying 2% discount if paid in 10 days from when they send you the invoice, 1% discount if paid in 30 days, and then net amount due in 60 days. No discount. Okay, so the incentive is to pay in the first 10 or the first 30 days, and then after that, you just need to pay it within 60 days. That's when it's fully due. So it won't always be 210, 130, net 60. It could be 510, 230, and 60, or it could be 530 and 60. It doesn't have to have all three components, but that's how you interpret that amount. So the first thing that it's going to ask you to do is, to me, the trickiest part, and that is figure out what days things are due. So let's look at example 1. It says the credit terms are 210, 130, net 60 on an invoice that is dated June 10th. Find the last day for finding each cash discount and the date on which the invoice was due. So the way that they figure this out may be very logical to most people, or to half of you, and that is to take June 10th plus 10 days to get June 20th for that first term. So June 20th would be the first one. And then find 30 days total, which would be July 10th, which works really well for June because June only has 30 days. But when you start getting into months that have 31 days, like May or March, it gets a little bit trickier because the difference between March 4th and April 4th is not 30 days, it's 31 days. That's why I think that the calendar is a little bit easier to look at. So let's look at example A and B, check for understanding. And you can either use the calendar or use the trickier way, in my opinion, to solve it. So let's look at A. Again, there's no math for this yet. They're just trying to make sure that you understand the terms. So credit terms of 115 and 30 appear on an invoice dated November 28th. So let's look at what that means. So 115 means 1% discount. Oops. 1% discount in 15 days. And all of it is due in 30 days. So what are the discount dates and due dates of the invoice? So the 1% discount, 15 days away from November 28th, if I look at the calendar here, you do not count November 28th. November 28th is considered the first day and kind of your freebie day. So don't count November 28th. Start counting on November 29th. So from there, 15 days would be December 13th. And net would be due, there's 30 days in November, so this one makes it a little bit easier. It would be December 28th. Let me just double check from the 28th, which we do not count. December 28th. So a 1% discount would be before December 13th, net December 28th. Okay, next let's go ahead and look at B. So let's interpret it first. It says an invoice dated March 20th has credit terms of 315. So that's 3% in 15 days. 130, 1% in 30 days. Net 45. Net in 45 days. So the dates, 3% discount. We would have until starting at March 20th, which we do not count. We start with March 21st. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. April 4th. Okay. 1% in 30 days, but there's 31 days in March, so I'm going to go ahead and count from March 20th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. April 19th. And then adding in 15 more days from the 19th. May 4th. And again, if this is clicking really easily for you and you don't need to actually count on the calendar, but you can just kind of logically think through it in your head, that is great. I'm really glad for you, but it doesn't really work that way for me. So do not be ashamed if you have to use the calendar. Okay, so now that we have looked at the dates and how to interpret the terms that they give us, we're going to go ahead and actually calculate what that discount would look like. So if we are receiving a cash discount because we're paying early, the equation for that is cash discount equals invoice price times rate, and then the cash price that we actually have to pay vendor would be invoice price minus the cash discount that we calculated above. What's given to us in the problem is the invoice price. So let's look at C. Find the cash discount and the cash price of $23,747 invoice if the invoice is paid within the first discount period. And the credit terms are 4/5, 130, net 60. So the first one would be a 4% discount within 5 days. And apparently we paid within the first 5 days. So we'll take 23,747 times 0.04 to get our discount. I get a discount of $949.88. Totally worth paying in the first 5 days to get that big of a discount. Then we'll take 23,747 minus 949.88. $22,797.12 is my amount that I'm going to have to pay because I got that discount. All right, let's go ahead and look at trade discounts next. So trade discounts are reductions from the list price to their business customers. Trade discounts are usually figured within each item on the sales invoice, since it's possible for different trade discounts to apply to different items. Trade discounts may be different for each customer, just depending on the relationship that you have with them, honestly, and the agreements that you've had prior. So this is very easy to calculate. Most of it is given to you in the problem, but let's go ahead and write it down. So trade discount equals the rate times the list price, and then the invoice price equals the list price minus the trade discount. Okay, so let's look at E. The list price of a gas grill is $249 with a 35% trade discount to retailers. What trade discount would the retailer get on the grill, and then what would the invoice price be? So the rate is 35%. 35%. And the list price is $249. So the discount would be $87.15. So then we'll take $249 minus that discount. And this would be how much we'd pay for it because we got a discount. Okay. All right, the last part is the rate of discount. So if you're not given the rate, but you're given the amount, you can still calculate what the rate of discount would be. And to find that rate of cash discount, they are a little bit different. Equals the discount divided by the invoice price, and then the rate of trade discount equals the discount over list price. So it just depends on what they're giving you. Okay, so let's look at G. G says an invoice totaling $5,200 was paid with a discount within the discount period. The amount that they actually paid was $5,070. What was the rate of cash discount? So this is a cash discount. They gave to us the invoice price of $5,200. And then they gave us the amount that was paid, so we have to calculate what the discount would be, and it's just the difference between those two. So $130 discount. And that gives us a rate of 2.5%, and that is very logical, so that is our answer, 2% discount. Okay, let's do H real quick. A swimsuit with a list price of $75 was sold to a retailer for $41.25. What is the amount and the rate of the trade discount? So they gave us the list price of $75. We have to calculate the discount. So that would be 75 minus 41.25. We got a discount of $33.75. And that gives us a discount of 45%. Trade discounts are always much, much higher than a cash discount. All right, so again, if you missed any of this lesson or yesterday, you can look back at these videos on YouTube. Be sure that you're keeping up with your work because you'll have a quiz in a few days, and then when I return, I will definitely be looking at your notebooks to make sure that you did it while I was gone, because even if you are absent, you have zero excuse to not get the work done. So go ahead and do number 7 through 27, and then 39 through 43. Go ahead and get to work.